For more than 40 days, a small island named Sandesh Khali in north of 24 Parganas district has been at the center of politics in West Bengal. On January the 5th, an enforcement directorate team probing alleged irregularities in the state's public distribution system went to the area to raid the home of Sheikh Shah Jahan, who is a Trinamool Congress leader. Shah Jahan supporters attacked the ED team and also helped him to escape. He remains on the run. Almost a month later, some local women blocked the main road and demanded the arrest of Shah Jahan and his two aides, whom they accused of sexual abuse and harassment. The police, which has arrested Shah Jahan's aide, initially denied allegations that the women were raped, but later filed cases against local TMC leaders. The opposition BJP, smelling a strong political opportunity ahead of the general elections, moved in aggressively, as in fact did the CPM. And for more on this, we now have with us a member of the BJP's national executive, Shwapan Das Gupta, who's obviously been observing that situation very, very closely. Shwapan, if I can just start by asking you, what is the latest that you're hearing from Sandesh Khali, where it clearly seems to be a very difficult, very uncomfortable situation unfolding there?
Well, what's been happening is basically a fallout of the attempted arrest of a person called Sheikh Shah Jahan by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, when the ED went to arrest him on the suspicion that he was involved in a massive fraud involving ration cards, that was in December, January, and since then there was attacks on the ED raiding party, which led to a lot of bloodshed. And subsequent to that, once investigations started on exactly what's been happening in Sandesh Khali, which is a bit of a remote area near the Bangladesh border, what seems to have transpired, what horrific stories are emerging now of the type of stranglehold which a gang led by Sheikh Shah Jahan exercised on people there.
Yes, Shwapan, obviously he's still absconding and people are looking for him. But, you know, if you look at this, when it started off, when the ED raid on Shah Jahan happened, it played into this entire theme of, you know, is the BJP using the ED against its political opponents, which is a charge that the opposition makes very frequently. But now, of course, these other charges and other allegations have come up, including, and perhaps most worryingly, women being used as sexual playthings, as sexual harassment taking place out there. Those are the sort of charges that are now coming out there.
Well, that's a different thing. You know, the original raid on Sheikh Shah Jahan was a byproduct of the investigation and arrest of a prominent Trinamool politician and minister called Jyotipriya Malik, who's a strongman of North 24 Parganas. And Sheikh Shah Jahan happened to be one of his close associates. And the ED raid was done as a result of the investigations on this ration card fraud. Now, all these stories about harassment of women, the molestation, you know, that sort of sexual exploitation have emerged subsequently. It's not a direct result of the ED investigation. It's something completely separate.
Now, obviously, Shwapan, this is becoming a major political flashpoint, and partly, I guess, because of the fact that we're heading for general elections. West Bengal is going to be a particularly crucial state. The BJP will be hoping to add or maintain the number that it got last time, which was 18. The Trinamool will be hoping to bring it down. Do you see Sandesh Khali continuing to be a major political flashpoint all the way through till the elections?
Well, of course it is. It is politicized, and it's going to be an issue in the coming elections. But I think what's really, the issue in West Bengal has often been law and order. And that's been a major thing, but not so much, and that concerns the state government. And although there's a Lok Sabha election, and Lok Sabha is not really connected with law and order, I think what a section of the BJP is attempting to do is to make this, in a sense, a minor referendum on the Mamata Banerjee government. Likewise, Mamata Banerjee is trying to use this as an attempt to say that there's a strong, the center is having an overbearing attitude towards state governments, and therefore that needs to be resisted. So both of these are important flashpoints, but along with it is the entire issue of political violence, which has been a live issue in West Bengal right since after the election, assembly election of 2021.
All right, one last question, Swapna, and I'm going to sort of get you to put on your analyst and your journalist hat in addition to your BJP hat. I'm trying to get an assessment of the political situation in West Bengal, and specifically the entire question of how an alliance, let's say, between the India Alliance constituents in West Bengal could play out. And I've heard both sides. Logically, people are saying it's always good if you have an opposition alliance against the BJP. I've heard other people saying that in West Bengal, actually, it could go the other way, because in West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee is seen as the dominant force. So if there is an alliance between her and the Congress, for example, or the CPM is thrown into the mix, then anti-Mamata votes will all go to the BJP. So it's better if there's no alliance so that the anti-Mamata votes are split between everybody. How do you see this working out on the ground?
Well, it's very difficult to anticipate exactly who it will benefit. You know, Mamata Banerjee was keen to have some sort of a minor tie-up with the Congress because she was apprehensive at this point that a section of the Muslim voters would be more inclined to support her once they knew that there was the umbrella of the Congress, which was also there. Because the Congress has an important standing as far as the Muslim voters are concerned in a national election. But of course, that's not going to happen. But Mamata Banerjee is quite clear in her mind that she doesn't want any alliance whatsoever with the CPM. Now, the CPM, in a sense, is waging a battle for its survival. By hook or by crook, it must get at least a couple of seats. You know, here was the mighty CPM, which ruled for over 3 decades. Now it's reduced to 0 in the Lok Sabha and 0 in the assembly. Now, they have to get something doing. And a lot of the CPM has been reduced to what the BJP was about 20 years ago. Fringe player of the fringe third-party player. Now, so at present, I think, to some extent, Mamata Banerjee is wary that this is not going to be a traditional, normal election on local issues, and that Narendra Modi is going to secure an incremental vote for the BJP. And if that happens, there is a possibility that in many seats, which are sort of marginal in there, that might switch over to the BJP. So like these are wariness, apprehension, but I don't think a definitive answer as to who will gain for the lack of the India alliance in the state is there at present.
All right, Swapan Dasgupta, thank you so much for joining us with that perspective.